I always thought the devil would come with horns, not pop ups in silence. I was 12 the first time the screen glowed at me like a secret. I don't even remember what I saw, just the adrenaline, the rush of being wanted, even if it wasn't real, even if it was a thumbnail and a lie. My hands shook. I closed the window, deleted the history, knelt by my bed, and cried like someone died. Because someone did. Not all at once. Slowly, like dripping poison into a bloodstream and calling it growth. By the time I was 16, I had memorized more verses about lust than I had about grace. I was the guy youth leaders pointed to, the one mom said had a calling. I led small groups, spoke at summer camp, said all the right things about accountability and purity and God's timing. And yet, every night, I crawled into the dark with hands I couldn't keep holy. You know how many times I fasted, tried to starve the lust out of me like it was a demon I could evict with hunger? It never worked. I wrote verses on index cards and taped them to my mirror. I wept during worship sets, rededicated my life like it was a subscription that kept expiring. I thought marriage would save me because that's what they said in youth group. If you wait, God will bless you. Translation, if you say no long enough, you'll get a woman who will never say no. So I said no to sex, to parties, to my own desires. I said no until it was the only word I knew. And then I met Janelle. She loved Jesus, had dimples, and thought I was godly. I loved her, I think. Maybe I just loved that she made me feel clean. She was the finish line, the prize, the holy solution to my unholy war. But I didn't marry her. I used her, not sexually, not at first. I used her as proof to myself, to God, to everyone that I had won. But lust doesn't die at the altar, it just changes clothes. Our wedding night, I was terrified. Not because of her, but because I thought it would feel like worship. I thought heaven would open. Instead, it felt like performance, like I was faking love again. We didn't talk about it. We prayed, we served, we even tried starting a family. Meanwhile, I built a second life in my pocket, pixels and silence, an escape plan for when she got tired or sad or real. When our daughter was born, I promised I'd change. And I did for 3 months. Until one night, Janelle fell asleep early and I found myself alone with the old itch. One video, one search, 1 minute, and the loop returned like it never left. That night, I asked myself a question I didn't dare say out loud. What if the world was right? What if the people who drink, sleep around, party, and laugh at morality, what if they were the free ones? What if the ones who stayed pure missed out on the better life? What if Jesus was just a leash? I called it FOMO Theology. The fear that I gave up real pleasure for a fairy tale. The fear that while I was praying for self-control, other people were living. And you know what scared me the most? Not that God wasn't real, but that he was and still let me stay broken. Because if Jesus is true and I still can't stop clicking, if Jesus is real and I still want strangers more than my wife, then maybe the cross didn't work. Maybe grace is for the ones who didn't try this hard and still failed. Maybe I'm the exception. So yeah, I still went to church. I still raised my hands during King of Kings and cried at Easter. But every time I said amen, my heart whispered, liar. Because I didn't believe anymore. Not in the gospel, not in marriage, not in me, just in the Lord.